All right. So if you're watching this video, that probably means you're part of our church, which means you probably know, or at least hopefully know, Mr. Carlos Gomez. So, Carlos, thank you for joining me just for this little conversation here. We just want to talk a little bit about ESL ministry, specifically how
Okay.
you became a part of it, and maybe just how it's been going and what it looks like to serve in that area. So, if you wouldn't mind starting by just telling us what was it that caused you to want to serve in ESL?
Okay. Yeah. So it was basically one word, curiosity. And hearing ESL brought back just some random memories from long ago. I remember walking through the halls in grade school and high school and seeing the letters ESL on a window in a classroom. And it took me a while to figure out that it was English as a second language. So then when I heard the church starting up that kind of program, it piqued my curiosity again. And I just went to go see, okay, what is it about and what is the church planning to do with it? So it was basically just going for fact finding. I had no plans to get involved with it at all. So then I go to the training and then I find out that it's not just teaching the students English, but that we were dovetailing it with the gospel, which I did not expect.
Mm.
And that was really cool, really interesting. And then, like I said, it was curiosity. And then I found out that you know, it was a lot simpler to get involved than I thought. So my curiosity turned into, okay, let's take the training. And the next thing you know, the excitement in the room was so infectious because it was nothing but fun. You find out from the instructors that, like Claudia and Monique, that everything's already prepared. We have curriculum, we have books. All they need is just fun and enthusiastic people to show up and show students English, which, if you know how to speak English, you're already qualified. So
There,
that's how I did it. Curiosity, it's been fun. And yeah, that's how it got going.
there you go. You said a lot of things that I want to kind of unpack a little bit. So you mentioned the
Sure, sure.
training, the gospel, the simplicity of it. Let's kind of talk about all those. So first, so the training was 2 years ago for you. So it's been
Yes.
a little while. What do you remember if someone is kind of on the verge of wanting to attend the training? What is that like?
Yeah, so 2 days. It sounds more intimidating than it is because they are long days, but you'll realize that it's just like-minded people coming into the room to hear what it is, what it takes. And then again, Claudia and Monique, their heart and passion for it came through, which their enthusiasm just got into us, and we back and forth was like, wow, this is interesting, exciting, and again, fun, not threatening in any way. You don't need any special skills other than learning how to speak English, which you already do, and just a willingness to give it a shot.
That's
And that's how
awesome.
I got involved. Yeah.
That's awesome. So our next training is coming up next weekend, so the 29th. So hopefully if people are watching this before then maybe they can consider going to be a part of that. So the other thing, one of the other things you mentioned was the gospel component as
Mhm.
part of it. This is what
Mhm.
separates, ESL class from an ESL ministry. Can you talk a little bit about how that plays out? How the gospel is presented?
Sure. Yeah, like I said, that caught me by surprise that we were integrating it by surprise in the sense that I didn't expect it to be part of the training process or the classroom process. But then once I understood that this was our ESL ministry, it made total sense. So yeah, of course we teach the students out of a book, just basics, going through it all. And then when we take a break, it's two 45-minute sessions, but when we have a break in between, I think it's like 15 minutes, we actually have snacks, take a break, drink some water, but actually give just a small, we'll pick a scripture or two and read it and just share the gospel with them that way. It'll be something relevant to the day, whether it's dealing with fears or doubts, because a lot of them have fear in terms of speaking in the language. It's like, but we tell them that this is a low stress environment. But of course, we also share with them the love of Christ, and they pick up on that. And especially in my 2 years, I've seen the students say that when they walk in the door of the ministry center, even for the first time, they had this sense of not only love from us for them, but just love for each other
Yeah.
that was very real. So that's how we integrate the gospel, and the fact that we just show up for them and do that for them really impacts them.
That's awesome. Well, there were two other words that I want to hit on that you said. One was simple, and the other was fun. You can
Hmm.
share a little bit about both of those, or one or the other that sticks
Yes.
out. But like you said, sometimes ESL might be intimidating, or 2 day
Mhm.
training it might be intimidating. But when you
Yeah.
use those words, simple and fun, I think anyone listening can say, "I can do that." Can you speak a little into
Yeah,
that?
exactly. Just, yeah. And if you're curious at all, just come to the trainings, 28th and 29th, and just listen and follow along in the book as they guide you step by step. There's no mystery, no guesswork. And once you realize how simple it is, and by simple, I don't mean simplistic, it's just very logically laid out so the students can follow, which also makes it easier for you to instruct because it's very well thought out. This is nothing new. This org's been doing the work for years, so they've taken the guesswork out of it, and all you have to do is show up with enthusiasm. And then again, once you see it's just something as simple as a student that maybe speaks Spanish or Ukrainian or whatever language is, when they understand one word and say it back and they get it, that just makes it worth it.
Mm,
So totally worth it. And you know that there's just many moments like that because they're learning words, phrases, idioms that make you laugh, that you say things because you live in this country and you say it all the time, but then when they ask you what it means, you're like, whoa, that's very interesting. I don't even know where the origin of that word is. So that makes it really fun. So yeah, if you're curious at all and you want to have fun, give it a try. Come to the
that's,
training and see what it's like.
that's awesome. Well, Carlos, thank you for your time. I want to echo that to anyone who might be watching or listening to this. If you are curious about it at all, just come give the training a try, and who knows
Hmm.
where it's going to take you.
Yeah. And don't be intimidated. You're not going to be put, unless you want to, you're not going to be put in a leadership role right away in terms of teaching. But the fact that you can jump into a teacher role right off the bat tells you how simple it is. So teachers, assistants, daycare, whatever it might be, come on, check it out, see how you can get involved.
Let's go. Well, thanks. And again,
All
if
right.
you don't know Carlos, come find him on Sunday. You can ask him questions there. But thanks
Mm-hmm.
for watching. And Carlos, thanks again for your time.
My pleasure.